All righty, been there, done that. John Anthony, give us the rundown. 3 questions on a What If Wednesday.
All right, here's one. What if Taylor Swift makes it to 6 of the 8 final Chiefs regular season games?
Which is possible, as I understand it.
It looks doable. She could make it to the November games, the Monday night game. She's still on the road in South America, but could ping pong maybe.
Okay.
But off in December and January. Chiefs have one game January 7th, the Chargers game.
Okay. Well, my bet is she won't be here Monday for the Eagles game. She doesn't want to have to pick sides in that, being born and bred Pennsylvanian.
The next November game's a Raiders game.
Yeah.
I think in Vegas.
In Vegas, yeah. So I'm guessing that she won't be here Monday. That's my hunch. So if she makes 6 of the Chiefs' final 8 regular season games, well, if I was one of those numbskulls in the media, I'd be like, well, then Travis Kelce's going to have 6 great games and 2 really crappy games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how the media, and they know better, but they're appealing to the lowest common denominator as if Travis Kelce wasn't a Hall of Famer before he even met Taylor Swift, which he was. It's amazing to me. It's like, whoa, look at Kelce's numbers when Swift's at the game versus when she's not. As if what? He's trying to impress her so he plays better or Mahomes throws him the ball more. The dude's a Hall of Famer. If he blows out his knee tomorrow, he's a Hall of Famer. Unbelievable. Well, by the way, I hope she's at a bunch of games. I'm rooting for him. I know I was very skeptical at the beginning. I'm now all in. I want it to work. And I want them to raise their little kids right here in Kansas City.
Seems like a commitment if she makes 6 of those.
Yeah.
She can make the December, January games.
That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction would be she makes the rest of the home games.
You think she'll be here Monday night against the Eagles?
I think she's flying back from Brazil on Sunday night after her show, going to the game on Monday, and then going back to Brazil.
And then she's there the next weekend, right?
Yeah, Friday would be her next show.
You think she's going to turn around Brazil to be here for the Eagles game?
I think so. I think her dad wants to go.
They can go to whatever they can go to any game they want. You think Scott wants to go?
I think he wants to go and see the Eagles play the Chiefs.
You think Scotty? This is all about Scott, huh?
Yeah,
it's all
I
about
think
Scotty
she wants
Swift.
to help her dad get in the suite with Mama Kelce.
It's not about not about the business. Listen, she's a $1 billion business. You can't be doing this willy-nilly back and forth. Although, getting out of South America is probably a good idea. Can't stay too long. Got a lot of turmoil down there. But, all right.
So you're saying it would be good for the Chiefs then, right?
Yes, it would be good for the Chiefs. I'm all in on it. I think it'd be great for them. But the media is going to be very stupid if that happens.
It would be nice to diminish the mentions if she keeps coming to enough to where it's a
it's not a big deal anymore, right?
All right, so what if Kansas City Public Schools hired armed guards for their elementary schools this week?
They would be safer than they'd be without the security guards. I'll tell you that right now. I don't understand Kansas City Public Schools this week announcing that they were exploring the idea of hiring armed security at the elementary schools, and now they decided not to do it. And here is, just to catch you up to speed on this a little bit, here is part of what Woke 41 reported on this last night.
They brought that idea to parents, to their advisory committee. The committee said the overwhelming feedback was in opposition.
A room full of KCPS families and staff spoke up about adding armed guards in elementary schools.
The topic of the conversation is where I'm going to get my next meal, where I'm going to sleep at tonight.
There are a variety of opinions.
Manuel Clark sits on the district's advisory committee and is a parent to a 4th grader.
It's the concept of whether it is a place that could be targeted, whether that actually exists as an issue.
He said parents brought up how it would make students and staff feel and questions of over-policing.
Ah, yes, oh boy, because, if kids see cops around, run! I'm kind of at that place now where with Claire, who's going to be 5 soon, she sees a fire truck, she sees a police car. Hey, Dad, cool, it's a policeman, it's a fire truck. Whoa, cool. That's how we want them to be with law enforcement. And the only reason they wouldn't be that way is if they were being fed constant propaganda by parents, friends, family, teachers, administrators, whoever. Media, obviously. They're 5 years old watching, Al Sharpton on MSNBC.
Show some RESPICT.
That'll screw them up. That's for darn sure. Hey, let's watch, Al this morning here before we eat our Cheerios and head on off to school. But, no, we want our kids to appreciate law enforcement, armed guards, security. It's okay. They're there to protect us. But unfortunately for Kansas City Public Schools, they decided that they were not going to go ahead with armed security. And to me, that means they're less safe than they would have been had they gone ahead with armed security. John?
What if the Kansas City mall shooters, 2 incidents, Oak Park Mall, Independence Center this past week, what if the 2 shooters were treated, or maybe I should say charged, the same, treated the same?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, first off, I would love to see Jackson County follow Johnson County's lead. Heck, the guy at Independence Center, he shot a woman. She's pregnant. She is on life support as we understand it right now. And that guy has less charges as of today than the dude who was shoplifting at Oak Park Mall, got stopped by undercover cops, and the undercover cop had his gun taken away by this guy who then shot the gun in the air. Yet that guy got hit with more charges than the one on the Jackson County side of the state line. How does that make any sense? If only Jackson County took a page out of Johnson County's book. If Gene Peters Baker, Jackson County prosecutor, went to Steve Howe's School of Prosecution, I'll tell you right now, Jackson County would be much better off. It's just like Mike Parsons said in the interview just now on the show, and I tweeted out the quote so you can see it there. Gene Peters Baker cannot help herself but continue to make all these issues political. And that's one of the reasons the county that she oversees when it comes to crime is going to hell in a handbasket. Her office and nobody else outside of this show is going to say a peep about it. Heck, her communications guy used to work at the Kansas City Star. You want to talk about incestual relationships? What more do you want than the prosecutor's office and the communications director having to used to work at the Kansas City Star? That tells you all you need to know right there. There is a What If Wednesday in the books